will win, the present or the future? Fated or destined? Aramorta or Odium? Which Hikari will prevail when these two collide? Hello everyone and welcome to Dueling with Downton, and today we're talking all things episode 21 of the Cardfight Vanguard Divinez anime series. An episode that I really didn't expect to happen within the season, but was so glad that it did. After all, who better to understand little Hikari's pain and suffering than herself? So that's where I want to start with this review, because at first you might think that future Hikari is being hypocritical in trying to prevent little Hikari from travelling to the past and changing fate, considering that this is what the future one actually did herself. However, if you remember, with the future Hikari, her wish only gave her a one-way ticket, so she was essentially sacrificing herself in order to save her brother from its actual death. So if little Hikari does travel to the past, then this would mean that she too would be trapped there, leaving her brother in this current timeline alone. But more to the point, she would prevent that accident from happening. She would be changing the lives of a lot of people. Plus, in a sense, she's killing her brother as they know it, because Akina again would be vastly different than the character that we've known since season 1. This could in fact all end up backfiring on Hikari, plunging her more into despair. But would she still be around to even see the results? Because would she disappear as well, just like the future one should have done? So yeah, why is the future Hikari still around? Well, at first I thought maybe Garbelius did something to keep her around, maybe because he has some suspicious feelings that something had gone on, but no, he seemed shocked. So my second guess would have been that the future Hikari's wish still hasn't been completed, because of whatever reason. Maybe Sybil is planning something that is going to directly put Akina's life in danger, thus making it so that Akina is going to die. Therefore, because her wish hasn't been fully fulfilled, she's been put back to make sure her wish does come to fruition. Now, going back to the two Hikaris, I like seeing how the future self giving her current form a talking to. Because again, we have this character that truly understands the feelings and the pain that they're going through. Because they've experienced the same thing. They've experienced the same guilt. But also, like I said, future Hikari has experienced what it's like to have her wish granted, and going into the past, which is what the little Hikari is trying to do. So whenever future Hikari is talking, she's talking from experience, and she's able to better connect and understand what the little one is currently going through. This matchup was also smart in the way that if Akina had been the one saying all of this to his little sister, it wouldn't have been as impactful, and it would have just angered Hikari more. Plus, this way around, the more you look at it, it's like looking into a mirror and self-reflecting. So from a writing perspective, I thought this was really well thought out and amazing to do, even if it was just a little bit of like sort of nostalgia. Though you can't really say that because it's only been a year since we last saw him. That line where future Hikari asked if she had spoken to Akina about it and then ended the conversation by saying it's not too late, that hurt my feelings. As you can imagine, that the future Hikari never got a chance to tell her brother about her feelings, about her guilt that she was feeling. After all, he died. But it's not too late for little Hikari to do the same, as she and Akina are both still alive. Thus, she had the opportunity that the future one no longer has. Now, having two versions of Linnell is a great piece of symbolism, as we know that when they are younger, the Hikaris both have a lot of sadness, guilt, and despair. So, Odium represents that. But then we have Aramorta, which gives hope, light for a better and brighter future. Now, on the topic of cards this episode, we finally get to see an overtrigger, but it is soul charged. But after seeing how smug little Hikari was after this, I'm hoping that she has to add her own overtrigger to her regress gauge. but the amount of reliance that Audium has on Distorted Bane is kind of crazy, but it does balance the deck out a little bit, so I do like that aspect of it. And I did think it was cool seeing how even the characters within the show knew how important this card was to Hikari's plan, or gameplay. But what's up with Aikawa? He's been starting to make me believe that he has seen the future, or has some form of psycholia, because he's always trying to predict things, and maybe he's wrong. Most of the time he's been right. So now, finally, I really want to praise Yukimura Eri for voicing these two characters and making them sound different, yet still holding slight resemblances. This has been an incredible display of voice acting skills, as she does an amazing job every time these characters are on screen, but she gives them so much emotion and range that, along with the visuals, help you to perfectly hear and see and feel their pain, sadness, doubts, worries, and convictions. This just helped make this mirror match so much more enjoyable and fun. So with this episode being a two-parter matchup, what's going to happen next is anyone's guess, but I'd like to see how the future Hikari is going to overcome this situation. Her still being sick though, this again would make it more believable that they are the same person in the little one's eyes, and it would kind of give more weight to this sort of branch world / timeline theory, as well as the fact you should never mess with the fabric of time. Again, creating more meaning that Akina would still be alone and sad if the little Hikari travels to the past to change her fate. I know that sounds a little bit weird, a little bit sort of janky, so I do apologise about that, but hopefully you understand what I mean. Other than that though, let me know your thoughts on this episode in the comments down below, and I hope to see you again soon. Have a great day, alligator, matane, goodbye.